All right, I think we're live. I always show up on time. What are you talking about? Just trying to fix my sound, but my mouse won't work. Give me a second. Come on, you piece of crap. There we go. That's a great time for my Bluetooth to stop working. Fantastic. No other mouse around. Let me see. Oh God. All right, testing. How is this? Still low? Looks low. Sounds good. All right. You're not going to learn anything here, trust me. Well, I don't want people to have to crank their volume up, so give me a second. I'm just going to give these... Okay, test. Alright, I just cranked it up to like 500 decibels. Should be a little better now. Let's see. I fixed my Wi-Fi, or my Bluetooth. I just had to roll my Mac Pro in a clear line of sight so the antenna works. Alright, we got Bruce, we got Nick, we got Greg, we got Dana, and we got Mike. Hey dudes, there's an echo now. Fan-fucking-tastic. Okay, how about now? Echo gone? Should be gone. Test. Test. Come on, OBS, give me a break. No what? Not gone? Shit. Okay. How about now? Should be gone. I've been trying to get my audio to work for the last 4 days, so this is probably going to be my first and only live stream ever, because this is not fun. Shit. Okay. Okay. How about now? Third time's the charm, right? I only boosted it 15 decibels. I put it back to 10 now. Okay, screw it. Putting this back to 0. Alright, everything is back to the way it was. You're gonna have to crank your volume up because this is as loud as I can make it without boosting it. So let me know. Alright, thank Jesus. Okay. Let me adjust my chair. Alright. Steve says it's good, then it's good. Okay, so today we're going to be recapping a power supply, and I have two to choose from. I got Steve and I got Nick. So I did a coin toss earlier. Not really, I just picked one. And we're going to be working on Nick's power supply. And, oh hey, my dad is here. Hey Dad. So this is usually maybe a 2-hour project. When I take a break, make a phone call, you know, do money crap. Fantastic, looking forward to it. When I take breaks and all that stuff, so I'm gonna try to hurry it up so we don't end up with a 10-hour stream. And I really wanted to make fun of Nick, because he's already been in here to try and do it himself, so it should be fun. I only have this one camera right here. This is my iPhone on a stand, so hopefully we got a good angle going so that we can see what's going on. So I'm not going to go do the step-by-step on how to take it apart, because for those instructions you can visit my blog. 3 pages of how to do this. And also I don't want to be I've settled in for a 4-hour stream. Well, that's what Steve asked for, but I'm going to try to keep it under 4 hours, I promise. Now, from what I can tell, the delay is not too bad. I put the latency on ultra low. Hopefully it's not impacting the quality too much, but we'll see. Now this power supply came from an Xserve that was exposed to a decent amount of humidity. You got some rust going on various places. Oh shit, why am I buffering? Really? Alright, I saw some buffering. If the stream breaks down, let me know, and I'll lower the latency a little. But yeah, this Xserve was exposed to some humidity, so I'm not sure what I'm going to find in here, or if a recap can even fix it. I have no idea. Oh. Well, we're going to find out. And I'll hold you all hostage for about 4 hours, so we can all figure it out together. Wow, these screws are in there. Let me do this off camera for a second. Ooh. Well, if the screws are looking like this, I have no idea what I'm going to find inside. This should be interesting. That looks good. So most of the rust that I'm seeing so far is actually on the part of the power supply that's on the inside. Like this is sticking out the back, and I see very little issue there, but the inside is looking pretty nasty. So this should be fun. Let me get this in frame like that. Ooh. That's actually not too bad. Let me get this apart. There we go. So you see the white circles, those are the caps that Nick already removed. And I actually expected a lot of carnage in there, with corrosion and rust and all that stuff, but it's not looking too bad. So let's disassemble this and get the board out, if I remember how to. It's been a while. Lick all the caps. No, not doing that, Steve. But since you have about 150 recapping projects coming up, I'm sure you will in one of your videos. Let's see, so this is the bracket that sits on top of this little board here, but the board actually looks good. I don't think I'm going to find any corrosion on the inside, so that's good. Not too much dust either. Nick, did you blow this out with compressed air, or everything as it is, as it was? This is pretty clean. Oh crap. I got a stripped and crooked screw in here on the heatsink. If I cannot get that out, I cannot recap this power supply. Oh crap. We might be in trouble here. Okay, he did some dusting, so it was probably nastier before. Ooh, we got lucky. I don't know what happened here, but this screw is jammed in there sideways. But luckily it wasn't screwed in. It's not even the right screw. This is not, it's not even a screw for an Xserve. Where the hell did that come from, Nick? Anyway, heatsink is off. Oh God. What happened here? I think this is where Nick, let me see. Get it in frame. Right there. I think this is where Nick's attempt to get the caps out ended. So at least you already cut off the white goop. That takes me like an hour to get. But cap is still there, so I still got some work to do. I don't know, dude. I expected a lot more shaming, because you made it sound like you really messed this thing up trying to get the caps out, but it's not looking bad. So I will not be able to make too much fun of you. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. The pads might all be gone, but it's from this angle it's looking pretty good actually. So let's disconnect the fans, and I'm sorry if I'm doing this some of this off camera, but the good stuff will all be captured properly. Okay. The fan is out. That fan is out. Did I get all the screws? I think I did. There we go. And there she is. A revision, what was it? Revision 1? Where the hell's the sticker? There we go. Delta Electronics Revision 1 Xserve G5 Power Supply. And let me put it in frame. There we go. So Nick already removed 3, 6, 7, 7.5 caps, because some of it is still in there. So not too many left for me to do, which hopefully means that the stream will stay under 4 hours. Let's see. We haven't seen the bottom. Good point. Good point. Let's flip this over. And the bottom actually looks decent. Not any worse or better than the ones I've seen up until now. There's a little bit of gunk right here, which is just a heatsink pad. So maybe a cap that was near there has leaked, or it might just be some flux left over. But this board is actually, wait, yeah, no, it's actually looking pretty good. So this is going to be interesting because I have a new soldering iron. The old one that broke had a giant tip on it that worked really well for getting these big pads molten and getting the solder off, but I had to crank the temperature up a little to make it easier. When I did that, the soldering iron melted in half and it fell apart. So that one's out, new iron is in, but these tips are pretty small. So I hope it generates enough heat for me to get the job done. We'll find out. And yes, I'm leaving the case on. Typically, I've never felt the need to desolder these two wires, but that might actually make it easier for me on this stream. So let me see how hot this thing gets. And if oh, nice, it actually gets hot enough. Alright, let me get these wires off, if it lets me. That's in there pretty good. Let me get some pliers. Oh, I can't, because I'm tethered to my desk. Sorry if this is loud, bear with me. There we go. We're still in frame. Desoldering gun. Never had one of those. I've always had an iron. And 90% of my gear is not meant for big stuff like this. It's all micro soldering and stuff, so I make do with what I got. So far it's worked out alright. Come on, get warm. Wow, that sucker is in there. I might have to wick some of this away so it stops drying up. Bruce can't hear me? Can anyone else hear me? I kind of suck if I'm talking to myself. We can hear you, but not from the mic you're wearing. Alright, I'm gonna do a quick tap test. Yeah, this is the mic. It's the only mic I got. This one. That one's off. So this is it. Alright. I'm going to take off the noise suppression filter. How's that? You might hear a lot of hissing and fans and stuff in the background, but it's the only mic I got. There's no other microphone connected. How about now? Can you hear me now? I think this is the microphone. Don't know what to tell you. It's all I got. I do not have a fancy setup like Steve or Bruce with their fancy blue Yeti microphones. Alright, these wires are not going anywhere, so I'll probably leave the case on, because this is already taken up like half an hour. And as I say that, the wires come off. Alright. This blue one is not going anywhere though. Might need a little bit of flux. There must be another mic somewhere. I think we just discovered an NSA hidden microphone or something. Because it's not mine, I promise you. This is a Hako FX951. And this solder is just not melting. Yeah, this is why I typically don't take the case off. Yeah, that's the biggest tip I got. Like I said, the previous tip was a lot bigger, but that iron fell apart. So this is what I got right now. I need to order a bigger tip for it, but December being an expensive month, I am not doing that now. And this is generating enough heat. Yeah, there we go. The tip might be smaller, but it is generating a lot more heat than the previous iron I had. Alright, here we go. A little easier to handle and maneuver around. Thanks for making me take an extra 15 minutes there, Dana. Appreciate it. I'm gonna give the audio one more attempt. But there's really nothing more I can do. Alright, let me know how that is, and I'll keep taking this apart. In the meantime, and you should be able to hear me better when I look down at my desk, because the mic is right there. I can try moving it up a little. Alright. It's louder. That's a good start. Alright, this is as good as it's gonna get. So, let's see, we got most of these caps that were removed. Ooh, where are we? There's some solder left in the through holes that I have to wick out. But I think there's only one cap that you really like savagely ripped out and the legs are still there. But I've done that too, so I can't make fun of that because I'm just guilty. So I'll save that for last. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 caps left. So we should be able to make that before dinner tomorrow. So let's see what's the best way to do this on camera. Live streaming is tricky, dude. I had no idea. You gotta keep an eye on the chat, keep an eye on what you're doing, make sure it's in frame. Meanwhile, I got thermal paste all over myself, so let me clean it up first. So Steve, if you're still here, you want to pose your iPhone issue in the chat, see if there's someone here that can help out. Because to be honest, I'm out of ideas, and I haven't dealt with iOS in such a long time that I'm sure there's people out there that have better ideas than I do. Okay. Is that a cap too? Yeah, it is. Alright, you did a good job, Nick, on getting all that white goop out of my way. That saves me a lot of time. And you said what? It took you how many hours? Alright, see you later, Steve. Enjoy dinner. Well, you said it took you a while, but so far you did a good job in all the prep work. So I don't know if I can show this on camera, but there's a good example here. All these caps are held in by this glue, which is a nightmare to remove. So Nick already cut it through, cleared it out where needed. There's a little bit more, where am I? A little bit more under there that I need to get to. And a little bit more there that I need to get rid of. But it's doable. It's doable. So let's get started. Celastic. I keep forgetting the name of that stuff. I don't know if it's just a glue or if it also has some kind of thermal paste properties, but it's annoying as hell. We got that. We got that. Yeah, we should be alright. I know Steve didn't go through the trouble of preparing this power supply for me, so I'm gonna have to do all that myself. Now the one thing you can never have enough of is wick. With these kinds of projects, you need a ton of it. A ton of it. You can also have a solder sucker, which works, but I find highly annoying, so I try not to use it when I can. Alright, let's get these capacitors out. Say beep. There we go. Now wicking does create a little bit more smoke, but I got a fume extractor sitting over there, so that's not an issue. If you do this stuff though, please do make sure you have a fume extractor. Come on, you prick. Because inhaling this stuff is not good for you. Now what I typically do, if I can't get to it with the wick or with the sucker, I just put it on the side, grab the cap from one end with this, heat up the pads, and then pull it out that way. It's probably a technique that's going to make Bruce throw up in his mouth a little bit, but like I said, I work with what I got. Turbocharger wick. No, I'm not going to do that. But I appreciate the tip. Come on, get in there. Yeah, there we go. Now there's a reason that no one has ever live streamed the recapping of an Xserve Power Supply. Because it's probably just 2 hours of, I don't know how a dentist feels. 2 hours of this. Wick, pull, wick, pull, wick, pull. But I'm counting on everybody in the chat to make it entertaining for you. And keep you busy while I try not to melt my desk. Let's see, this one is over here. I'm still in frame on this. Kind of. I'll get better at positioning this for the camera as the stream progresses. Okay. Now, out of all the tips I got, this is a chisel tip, which is actually the biggest one I got right now. And it's doing a good job. Like I said, it's getting really hot. But I would have liked a little bit more surface area to work with. Maybe, Bruce, maybe you can recommend a good tip for this. Since it's probably not the last recap I'm gonna do. Alright, this one is a pain to get to, so I can see why you skipped it, Nick. There we go. Nope, still firmly attached. It's definitely not as easy as it used to be with this iron, I'll tell you that. But we'll make it happen. I'm not worried. But we're just going to be here for 7 hours instead of 4. It's all good. I know you all will stick with me until the bitter end. All right. Let's try it again. T12 BC2. Small enough. Does that fit on this iron? This is the one with the removable tips. There's another pen coming for the micro soldering work, but I don't have that yet. Wow, that cap is not going anywhere. Time to try this. I might have to add some solder. Now when this thing pops, it might be loud, so I apologize in advance. I don't think that did a damn thing, so we're gonna try. Yep, that didn't work. So I pulled the cap out, but the legs are still in there. I didn't get all the solder out. Hey Ferry, what's going on, man? T12 BC2. Alright, I'll check that out after the stream. So what I'm going to do now, which is going to be hard to do on camera, is pull the legs out one by one while I heat up the other side of the board. Wow. I'm definitely buying that new tip before I do Steve's power supply. This is not easy, which goes for a lot of things. This is actually easy to do once you have the right equipment. Bear with me a second. Alright, that one's out. I think I'm going to have to rely on the solder sucker for this one a lot today. Because the wick is not getting the job done. There. Okay. Two caps gone. 4 to go. I think 1, 2, 3. 3 to go? 4 to go. 5 to go. Alright, I'm gonna catch up on the chat. I use a knockoff. Yeah, I use the knockoff. Actually, I still have it. It's a 2-in-1. It has the heat gun on one side and the iron on the other side. It's a 878 AD. It was $49 on eBay, and it lasted me 2 years. And I repaired over 500 boards with it. So I definitely got my money's worth. But when I started recapping with it, it turned out to be a little too much. So let's see, let's find this cap over here. I think that's you. Trying to figure out which pins belong where. Oh, that went well. Yeah, much better results with the sucker. Let's see if that'll go without a fight. And it did not. Son of a bitch. Again, leg stayed in. Well, this is definitely going to be a video on how not to recap your power supply. We'll get the results though. It'll work by the time I'm done. But getting there is going to look a little silly. Let's see. I can give you a better angle on all this stuff. So the cap we're after is right in there. Yeah, that's the one. Yiwa. Well, they rebranded it. Once it got popular on eBay, people started putting their own stickers on it. But that's the same one I got. And it lasts me forever, and the heat gun is actually quite good. Like, it gets up to temperature quick, a lot of volume. That's one. And that's two. Alright, we're getting a little bit more speed out of it now. I think the other cap is right there. That did not work. Needed it that. Gonna have to wick it. Yeah, I didn't think not having the right tip wouldn't be an issue for this stream, but it definitely is. So I'm gonna have to order that other tip before I even try to work on Steve's power supply. Gonna add a little bit of solder to it. See if it makes it easier to wick. What could some of the symptoms be that a PSU is failing or has failed? Well, the biggest one, the Xserve doesn't turn on anymore. I'm not saying that to be a douche, but that's really the only indicator you got. One day it works, next day, nothing. There could be a little bit of a high-pitched whine before it fails, but that's pretty rare, actually. Typically, it's just one day to the next, poof, gone. Come on, wick. try that. Side 160 watt. Nick, do you have a heat gun as well, or just the iron? Son of a... I'm just gonna have to accept that's gonna happen with every cap. That's one. And two. Okay. Now there's gonna be, these last two were clear. Can't see it from that angle, but you can see straight the lights through the holes on the other side. One of them, some solder is left in there. I'm gonna have to take care of that before I put the new ones in. But we're halfway there. We've only been streaming for 45 minutes. My magic number. 45 minutes. Jay does everything in 45 minutes. Alright, where's the other one? Right there. My iron is in the station, just keep it. No, Mike, not done yet. Just getting started, buddy. Actually, let me try to stuff this. Now this cap is a bit of a tricky one because the pin comes out right there and it connects to the same pads as those two, whatever the hell they are, top of it. So if I wick too much, they fall off. If I don't wick enough, I rip the pad. So that's always a fun one. Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, these tips are really nice though. If you're in the market for a new iron, yeah, resistors, that's the one. This is the Hakko FX951. You just got the one pen. If you need a different tip, just unclick this one, put another one in. It is beautiful. You don't have to turn your iron off. Don't have to wait. Gets hot in like 5 seconds flat. Definitely worth it. Let's see, where was I? Right there. Now I know the same is going to happen. I'm going to pull this out and the legs are going to stay firmly attached, but... Ah, I got one. Look at that. Getting better. Now, you know, the one thing I didn't even think about is that I'm going to have to test this at the end of the stream. And I don't have a single Xserve up here to test it with. Come on. So I'm gonna have to march my ass downstairs, dig up an Xserve, take it up here, put it in and test it. Because I feel like just putting a multimeter on it and seeing if I get 12 volts is kind of a cheap way to end the stream. So I'll be doing that after. Get some more of this white goop out, which I already forgot the name to again. Celestica? I don't know. I just keep calling it white goop because it fits. Let's see, this one. Another thing I didn't really think through is that my phone is blocking the light, so I can't see all that much in here. Alright, I think I found the next one. There we go. Yeah. Another thing I really hate about this thing, the nozzle keeps getting clogged up. So you have to take it apart, clean out the nozzle, put it back together, and lose 5 minutes of your life. Bruce actually recommended the solder remover that he has, and it does look good. It's a lot bigger, but it's also like 45 bucks, which I really don't want to spend on that. I might have to at some point. If I keep getting power supplies in regularly, and you know, this might actually make me a few bucks. Then I might invest, but it's probably not going to happen for a while. Alright, we got one of the legs out. And it's amazing how fast this iron heats up. It's beautiful. Come on. There we go. MILF. Okay. I don't know what that stands for. I know that it's old and that I never find them on the MacBook Air. So, therefore, I don't know the proper terminology. Let's see. I think we're down to the last cap here. And then we just have to do a little bit of cleanup. Thank you, Nick, for making this a little bit easier on me. Just gotta find the right pads here. Okay, I think I got them. I had a Mac Pro the other day that didn't boot fully. Fans ran but no chime. Is that also a syndrome of a failing power supply? No. No, in my experience at least, when the power supply in the Mac Pro fails, it's well, kind of the same as an Xserve. It's all or nothing. It's very rare that you only lose one line, like the 5 volts or standby, something like that. It usually just dies. If the fans are spinning, I would put money on it that the power supply is okay. Alright, I think I'm very close to a ground plane or something, because right now the solder is not even melting. The heat just instantly dissipates. So, I'm gonna have to rip this out as well and do the legs after the fact. Which, if you already remove most of the solder, you don't really risk damaging any pads, but it's definitely not a preferred method to get capacitors out of it. But these boards are really thick, the pads are big and strong, so there's very minimal risk. Now keep an eye on the chat, because if Bruce disagrees with me, then I am in fact wrong and he is right, and you should listen to him. That's the way it works. If you haven't seen any of Bruce's videos yet, he has a YouTube channel, Brankus Creations, where he actually shows you how to recap things the proper way. And not the way I'm doing it here. Shut up, Nick. Shut up. I'm doing a damn fine job over here. This is quality work, and nobody knows any better. Come on. There we go. Alright, was that the last one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14? 14? There's only supposed to be 13 caps in this thing. What the hell? Let's see. Alright, this one is unused. Freaked myself out there for a second, like, oh shit. Something was removed that shouldn't have been. Okay, I'm live streaming now. Goodbye. Just gotta clean up that pad over there, which still has pieces of the lag and solder stuck in it. And some of that white goop. What's the name of that white stuff again? Comp Geek, can you remind me? Celastica? Something with S. Yeah, Celastic. Silastic. I don't know how you pronounce it exactly, but alright. I'd have to add some solder to these as well. Oh no, it's working. There we go. Beautiful. So, hold them up against the light, see which holes we're missing. There's one more here that needs wicking. Glue and vibration reduction. I didn't know that. But I'll admit, there's a lot that I don't know. A lot. That's actually most of the fun in trying to figure this out, is learning something new. So once I know something, I kind of get bored with it, and I try to find something else to learn. But as you can tell, I'm definitely not very smooth at recapping these things, so a lot more to learn. I'm just wicking out the solder that's left behind in some of these holes. Makes placing the new capacitors a little bit easier. Alright. And then we have where's that from? Two more down here. And as you see, I'm going through a lot of wick here. I could probably reuse some of this, but I don't want to waste too much time. I see your comment, Nick. I will approve it in a second. I should really have some moderators in here. Can someone tell me how to make someone a moderator? I have not a clue. Alright, this one needs a little bit of help. Add some flux. Add some solder. And try to wick it again. And once you see that copper wick turn nice and silver, you know you got it. There it is. Did I get it? No, I did not. Still a lot of solder in there. Click on the name and then make moderator. All right, we'll do Greg. Now the beauty of these small tips is that you can really get them into that hole and kind of force the solder out that way. So there's downsides, but there's upsides as well. That's just me trying to make the best out of using the wrong equipment for the job. Which is not going great. Let's see. First we do that. Click on the name. Add moderator. There it is. Alright. Steve is now a mod. Try not to piss him off. He gets power hungry really quickly. Starts banning people left and right for no good reason. I've seen it happen before, so be careful. If anyone just joined us and has no idea what I'm doing, I'm just getting some of the old solder out of the way so we can start putting new caps in. Which is not going that great. That is really in there. Try it again. The bribes have started. Yep, that's one way to get Steve's attention. A good bribe. Alright, this solder is just not coming out. If I can find it, I'm going to use a very cheap trick. Needle, hole, clear. Doesn't always work. You got to be careful. If you have to force it too much, you can rip the pad off the other side. But if there's a small layer of solder in there that you just can't get to with the wick, the needle will get the job done just fine. There's one. There's two. Let me do these as well. One, two. Quick spot check. Okay, we have holes. Can't really see through them, but we have holes. I got one missing over here. Yeah, I just did, but it's just not picking it up once I wick it. Where's that hole I needed to do? There it is. So I'm just taking the easy way out now. There we go. Okay, final check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, we're good. Have to, damn it, I forgot the word again. Silastics. It's not that hard of a word, it's just not sticking. I gotta remove a bit more of that silastic stuff. And then we're good to go. Now, I have all the caps I need right here. So it should be a fairly quick and easy process. Once I get all that white goop silastic out, we'll be good to go. That should do it. Nope, that will not do it. Sorry I have to do this off camera, just so I can have enough light and get to it. Bear with me. Come on. And usually this stuff is pretty soft, but here in the middle it is hard as a rock. I haven't seen that happen before. There. Be gone, demon. Okay. There she is. All the caps have been removed. Mostly by Nick. Oh, I see a little piece of capacitor stuck in there. Gotta take that out. What was that? Okay, we should now be ready to put the new caps in. And that only took an hour and 12 minutes. Could have been worse. Need to poke one more hole with the needle. Where are you? Okay, that's one. That's still one. And two. Okay, let's give it a shot. Now I have a little cheat sheet and a full list of capacitors you need, where they go on my website. I also printed one out to make it easier on myself. So let's get started. And actually, when you go to Bruce's website, Bruce, I don't know if you want to plug your website in the chat. He has these same little cheat sheets for all the Macs that he knows how to recap. And I think you can download them, print them out. Very useful. Definitely bookmark that website, because you will need it one day. All right. You inducted the bigger fellas last week. Echo? What echo? Greg, you better not be drunk again. Kick your butt. That better not be an echo. All right, Nick. First cap is in. I don't hear anyone else talking about an echo, so hopefully you're. Hopefully it's just you. Yeah. Hopefully. Let's see. 104. And this is the stupid easy part. Just plug in all the capacitors, make sure that you line them up with the right orientation. The band on the cap goes to the band on the board. You see those white stripes? And that's it. Just keep plugging. Let's see, C112. Where are you? No echo here. Sweet. Greg is drunk. Ignore Greg. C112. C111. Right here. Oh, will it fit? Will it fit? It will not. Still have to poke a little hole through there. try that again. There we go. Now when I first created this list of capacitors and replacements for them, I put a list on my website with links to Mouser.com where you can order them, or at least get all the specs you need if you want to order them somewhere else. A few of them are a little too big. For example, these two here, they're very tight fit, and one is kind of pushing on the other. It's not going to affect the functionality, but if you really want to make it pretty and match the original, you're going to have to find some different caps. C350. $150. Just getting my caps in order here. Let's see. Yep, there we go. Push them through, then I'm over on the other side so they don't fall out, and that's all there is to it. It's actually kind of, I mean, it has to be your thing of course, but it's kind of relaxing. Same as cleaning a puck mouse. It's meditation, to me at least. I can easily do this for 5 hours. Don't worry, I'm not going to on this stream. Alright, this one no longer has the marking on the board, so I have to take my mic off for a second to go look at my cheat sheet. Be right back. You haven't missed much, Greg. Still working on it. Let's see, that is... number 6. C353. There we go. Almost there. What have I missed? Rapture. It'll probably be more entertaining than this. Let's see. C900. C900. Where are you? C900. 100 microfarad. 25 volts. Which we happen to have right here. Alright. This one I have to do off camera, because I have to squeeze it in between the board and the heatsink there, which is not easy. And if you mess up the orientation, good luck getting that capacitor back out without damaging it. Almost. Oh, come on. There we go. this actually has a different layout than other revision ones I've worked on. Huh. I have a lot less space between the heatsink here than I do with the other boards I've worked on, and the one I based my cheat sheet off of. So this cap might actually be too big for that spot. Uh-oh. We're gonna try it. Hey, no Star Wars chat here. It's strictly forbidden. C901. That's you? I think we're alright. Alright, let me try to show this to you. Where's my finger? There's my finger. Alright, so at the top of the screen, you see that? Tweezers. Doesn't help that my camera is a mirror image. That cap is too wide. See how it partially blocks the space for that cap? So I think I ran into this before. So what I did is make the replacement cap for the one next to it thinner so that it fits. So we should be alright. Luckily I figured all this stuff out while I was sober and had enough sleep. And that hole needs to be bigger. Let's see, where is it? Oh yeah, cut the cap in half and glue it back together once I soldered it in. Why did I not think of that? That is freaking brilliant. I should have thought of that. See? Goes to show you that I'm not as smart as I think I am. Alright, there we go. That should give me enough space. I'll show you the end result when it's all in. Yeah, beautiful. All right. Where is it? Wait. This camera angle is messing with me. Okay, now somehow it's at the bottom of the screen. There. See? No, that way. Up. So that cap is a little smaller than the original. That one is a little bigger. So it evens out. They still fit. Okay. Oh. There. Let me take a sip real quick and catch up with the chat. Chat. Leftover Scholastic. What is this? There's actually 11 people watching. I am amazed and I appreciate it. But that does make it a good time for me to do some shameless self-promotion. So y'all can look at that while I put the next cap in, which is C907. There we go. Now, I am not a big fan of self-promotion. I actually feel guilty for doing it sometimes. But you know what? It's got to be done. C908. There is no C908. What is this? Those two, that one, it's number 12. C909. Okay. Alright, enough shameless self-promotion. But I do want to, it's on the screen, but I still want to say it. Greg Thompson, Greg Rudke, Michael Stanhope, Bruce Rain, and Graham Cooper, thank you so much. It's just a few bucks, but it means a lot. Boom. C909. That's you. You haven't missed much. Just me putting a cap in. I think I have to go back in with the needle to make this one fit. Yep. Damn it. That should do it. C909. Right there. Beautiful. So looks like spaghetti of wires right now, but that'll sort itself out. No, there is actually no C908. But some of the lettering on this board is worn off. C902. There is no C902. C10. That makes more sense. So it's hard for me to read what's what, but I got the cheat sheet and the list, so I'll be alright. I'm gonna have to needle that one too. Yep. Hell yeah, I play UT with a puck. And I don't remember where this was. May have been the last Mac-Yak. People asked me for proof. So I'm gonna have to record that one day. There we go, you bastard. But yes, Unreal Tournament with a puck since 1999. Unreal Tournament has changed. My mouse has not. Best mouse ever. Do not try to change my mind, because you won't. I better put sugar in before putting in the tea. Damn straight. It's the only way to do it. Alright, 2 more caps to go, and then we can test this puppy out. C905. Please fit. Please fit. Please. Yes. And I will admit, I'm not really paying attention to camera angles and stuff. I'm just trying to get this done before everybody leaves out of boredom. One left. C90. Damn it. Another one that's worn off. See, that's number 10. 903. Alright. This is actually a new one from Mauser, because they were out of stock on most of it. Most of the caps I order are brown. Not on purpose, they just end up that way. This one is black. Who's pinging me? what just happened. I can't. Hey! Steve is a patron. Thank you, brother. Much appreciated. Man, emails are horrible to read on the Apple Watch. I do appreciate it. Where was I? Oh, right there. Last cap. Will it fit? Will it fit? No, it will not. I have to needle that one too. Yeah, I'm usually pretty careful with putting all my stuff on Do Not Disturb. My phone is even in airplane mode. But I forgot to do that with my watch. Apologies. All right. Enough of this. Let's do it. Get in there. Fit. Really? Yeah. Last cap is in. All right. What you end up with is this nice spaghetti of wires of all the caps that have been placed. Do a final spot check, make sure the orientation is good on all of it. Yes, yep, 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 yep. All right, we're good. Now we can start soldering all these into place, which is really easy. Wow, 14 people watching. I do appreciate it. I know this is not exactly the most thrilling material, but we're almost done. Anyone that just joined us, we pulled all of the old caps out. Well, Nick did most of it. I did what was left. Put the new caps in. And we're about to test it. Now for this you don't even need flux. There's enough flux in the solder wire to have this all flow into place really nicely. Am I in frame? Kind of. I mean, you can add flux if you want to, but that's just more stuff to clean up by the time you're done. Did I already do those? Yeah. You don't even need a magnifier or a microscope for this. It's big enough for you to see. Unless you have issues with your sight, then of course the magnifier will help. But if your eyes work all right, you don't need it. Almost done. Did I do that one already? Yes, I did. Okay. Oh, what did I do? There we go. 4 to go. Now this is the time you want to start placing your bets. Once I clip all these wires off, put it back together, we'll do a quick multimeter test, and I'm still going to get the Xserve, don't worry. But we want to take bets. Am I getting 12 volts out of this by the time I'm done or not? Don't go cheap. $100 amounts are allowed. Go big or go home. Now I had to add a little bit of flux to this one because it wasn't flowing as nicely. But all the other ones seem to do all right. Last one. Definitely put that wire in the wrong place because it's blocking my access here. That one too. The pad is a little dirty, so the solder is not flowing all that well. So just add a little flux and try again. Much better. Okay, I think that's all but one of them. That should do it. Hope you were able to see some of that. I bet it will work. Steve is always so careful. He never puts a dollar amount on it. I need to see dollar signs, bro. I need to have an amount. Don't hold back. Alright, and now we just start clipping all these wires off. Let me do that in frame somewhat. As you can see, this is the easy part. You're basically just cleaning up. You got a slight echo. Hey Greg. Well, only the Gregs are having echo problems. So I'm not going to touch my audio again to deal with that. Let's see, alright. Flip this over, do the other side. Now, by the way, when you clip these off, where am I? You do want to hold them either with your finger or with some tweezers, because they can launch, and if you get this in your face, it hurts a lot. So be warned. Matthew has an echo too. Well, I spent about 20 minutes messing around with the audio at the beginning of the stream, and it was alright for a while. I'm not sure what's causing it, but don't worry, we're almost done. That's it. Now I like to clean up all the areas I worked on with a little bit of alcohol. Oh, Steve hears the echo, but he doesn't care. I wish I could figure OBS out. I tried. I've been testing for 3 days now. This is the best audio I could get. So I apologize for any echo or other issues, but nothing I can do about it, unfortunately. Every time I try to fix it, I make it worse. So it's better if I just don't touch it. Now, I'm not just cleaning the areas that I worked on, I'm cleaning up everything that looks a little grimy. Over here. Alright, that's looking pretty sweet. I think that does it. Now, because Dana was throwing a fit, said, "You can't work on it with the case on," I had to desolder some big wires that I now have to put back in place. I don't even know where I put it. Oh, there it is. So, I probably have to wick these holes first. Damn it. Dana and his bright ideas always get me in trouble. I know it wasn't you. I just blame you for everything. That's how we do things. Alright. Now these holes are massive, so they're easy to wick. Now let's see if we can get these wires back in. Like I said, I've never taken these off before, because I don't mind working on this and flipping that case around. There, that's one. No, it does make it a lot easier to work on, taking that case off. But since I knew my iron tip wasn't big enough, I didn't really want to mess with these wires. But it was good practice. At least now I know it's possible. Sorry, I have to do this off cam for a second. Yeah, this wire has some solder stuck on it, so it won't fit in the hole. I'm gonna have to see if I can get that off. Damn, Dana. Harsh, man. That was harsh. Uncalled for. My feelings are hurt. I think some brute force is better here. Well, 1 million. It's probably a fair estimate. I have seen the X-Files many times. Alright, blue wire is in. Put some flux on there. My tip is fine. Well, not really. Not in this case, I will admit. Alright. See if that's attached. It is. Clean it up a little, and then we can finally put it back together. Now, as I mentioned in my video from yesterday, I have two of these power supplies. This one is Nick's, and I have one from Steve as well. Steve demanded a 4-hour recorded video, so I'll be doing that in the course of this week. A little bit of corrosion on the board by the edge, but this board is actually looking really good. I have no reason to believe this is not going to work. Actually, hold up. I see something suspicious. How am I going to do this? Actually, let me try, see if I can put this into frame. I guess not. Whoa. My tab just crashed. I hope I'm still streaming. Restore this tab, yes. Okay, I think I'm still live. Let me see. That's not working. Video capture. Okay. Okay. Microscope camera is not working, so I can't show you. But I do have to take a look at this under the scope for a second. What is that? That's actually some of that, damn it. Salats. The white crap is actually some of it on this side. So there we go, it's gone. Clean that up a little. Okay, good to go. My Firefox keeps crashing, so not sure what the hell's going on. Okay, we should be good. Let's put it back together. Let me grab, if I have to reach. A little cloth to clean this thing out. I don't foresee Nick using this 24/7, but it would be nice if he does fire it up for it to not blow a lot of dust through the room. So special cleaning service here for an additional $25. Mute desktop audio. If I knew what that meant, I'd give it a shot, but I've had all of 2 days of practice with OBS. Did a few tests, but I did them very late, so not a lot of people were available to help me out. We'll figure it out next time, don't worry. Alright, we're gonna put this back in its case. And just do what we did before in reverse. I will be. You will be. You're gonna run this thing? That much? It's gonna be a hefty power bill, brother. Where are you gonna run it? At home? Your wife is gonna kill you. Trust me, every time I play with the Xserve in my office, my wife gets mad because they are loud. And even with my door closed, you can hear them on the other side of the house. Alright, I couldn't see this from the outside, but there's a decent amount of rust on the inside of the power socket. Looks pretty superficial, but hopefully won't hurt us. There's still enough thermal paste on this heatsink here for me to just put this back on. Let's see. Sorry if you can't see what I'm doing. It's a little hard to put this into frame. One. 2, and since I don't have anything else, I'm gonna have to put that crappy screw back in that you found, Nick. Shouldn't matter too much, but it was definitely not made for this Xserve. If I could just get it to catch. I should do it. Alright, so all the internals are back in place. Damn it, I pinched a wire. There. I accidentally pinched the fan cable under the board, so I had to free that up. I don't see any bets going. Steve just said he think it'll work, but that's a very boring bet. Let's see. I'm gonna route this over here. Back speaker front speaker. Speaker fan, I mean. Power connector board. One for sparks. Bet it blows up. Greg has no faith in my skills, or lack thereof. So that's not a surprise. We can't afford bets. Yeah. Like that guy that pulled the broke student card in Steve's chat. Then turns around and starts shopping for G5s and G4 iBooks. That was funny. I have no problem calling people out on their bullshit. Okay. That is all set. Let's clean this up real quick. It would be hilarious if I plug this in and pop a breaker or something. That would be kind of fun. Now again, steps on how to take this apart, put it back together. Find all that on my website. I'm not gonna go in great detail on that. There she is. Now. I'm so confident, I'm just gonna put all the screws in. I'm not gonna have to open this back up. I look like a doofus on live stream. I just fixed this. Confidence. Alright. Now I might take this off before I send it back. I have to do some ultrasonic cleaning tomorrow. So I might just toss this in the cleaner to get the rust off. But for now, we'll put it back so we can test it. I mean that rust is superficial, but it would suck if Nick scrapes himself, gets tetanus, dies a horrible death, you know. Might as well clean it. Okay, just the 2 fan screws. On each side. Now for anyone else shipping a power supply, Steve actually shipped this to me and he took the fan off and this little bracket as well. And that made it ship, or that made it fit perfectly in, I think it was a medium flat rate box for USPS. That way he was able to save a few bucks on shipping. So keep that in mind if you ever have to ship one of these. Okay. One power supply recapped. Will it work? Let me see if I can reach a power cable from here. Oh. How long have I been sitting down? 2 hours. Holy Christ. Okay. Random power cable here for an iMac. But it'll get the job done. Now I'm going to put my microphone down on the power supply. So if you hear a click when I plug it in, we should be alright. Here we go. I heard it. Did you? I heard a click. Get the multimeter out. 1 second. I have to look at my cheat sheet. I wanted to make sure I didn't screw up the 12 volts and what you call it, the ground. Look at that, 12 volts. We have fixed it. So, since I said I would, I will go drag my soldering down to the basement to get an actual G5 to test this in. It would be much nicer if I just take this power supply and my phone down and just stream from there, but Google won't let me stream from my phone. My channel does not meet the criteria. They'll let me do it from the desktop, but yeah, right. I respect Rossman. He taught me a great deal about logic board repair, but saying that you need an ultrasonic cleaner that's $1,200, a microscope that's $700, a soldering iron that's $500. I've been getting by with I don't know, $400 total for all my equipment for 2 years. So no, I think that's overkill. So I'm gonna go find an Xserve, dry mouth, sorry. And I'll be right back. While I'm grabbing it, I will do some more shameless self-promotion. I'll be right back. Give me about 5 minutes. I just need a place to set this up. Give me a minute. Alright, I'm back. I'm not going to be able to put this whole thing into frame, but there is an Xserve on my desk. I just have to take the current power supply out without destroying my fingers. It is. This is one of the cluster nodes that I recapped a while ago. So here's Nick's power supply. Unique. Let's see. Now you won't be able to see it, but you'll definitely be able to hear it when it works. Take this cover plate off, make my life a little easier. Okay. Unique. And the camera stand just gave up on life, so doesn't matter. You see, there is an Xserve on my desk. Nick's power supply is in. And we are about to test it. Oh, you bastard. This iMac plug doesn't fit. Alright, can we force this in? No, I need another power cable. Damn it. I guess I should have prepared a little bit better for the stream, but hey. It's the screw-ups that make it fun. Okay, try this. Will it reach? Will it reach? Okay, we got the click. Let's give it a shot. You should be able to pick this up on the mic. I do think we're good to go. I love that sound. I love that sound. Oh, beautiful. Okay, now when I push, can't see that, but when I push this button, can you see that? No. All the diagnostic LEDs are showing up. Okay. No warnings on the 5 volts, 3 volts. We're good. So, Nick, you are all set, buddy. take this back out and clean up for a second. One power supply. Back in action. Awesome. Now this was a revision 1 power supply. There's only 2 that I've come across. Revision 1, revision 2. They're both what do you call these things? Delta Electronics. I have the full list and layout of all the capacitors on my website, thehouseofmoth.com. So if you have any G5 Xserves, I can't pronounce it today. You're welcome, buddy. Everything you need to do it yourself is on my website. If you do want me to help you out, you can always send it, and I'll take care of it for you. So, when do we get a live stream teardown on the PowerMac G4 redundant power supply? Turning the, oh no, don't turn the heat on. It's already hot in here. My wife just got home. The redundant power supply is sitting right there. Yeah, I'm pointing at it, but you can't see. Wait. Right there. And I will get to it. But right now my office is such a disaster zone. Let me see if I can roll to the side here. That whole stack of shit is all for Steve. We got cards, Centris, LC2, I think there's another 400 something upstairs, a whole bunch of cards over there for all kinds of stuff. There's displays I need to take apart and clean. There's an iMac from a friend of mine back there that I need to fix. A few laptops. It's going to be a while before I can take that redundant power supply apart, but I am really excited about it, because after I saw your post, or Nick pointed out your post, I've been dying to play with it. If it works, I want to pull a few caps or sabotage it to see if it triggers some kind of warning, and yeah, this should be come on mouse, there you go. That should be fun to play with. But 2 hours 15 minutes. This didn't take as long as I thought it would. Partially because Nick already did half the work. But yeah, not bad. I thought we'd be going on a lot longer. So I guess that about wraps it up. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments below on the video, or come hang out on Discord. I think there's a link in the description if I did the setup properly for the stream. Yeah, Discord link is right there. Come hang out. It's not my Discord, but it's the Maciac Discord, I think. Could be mine. I don't know. Come hang out there. We can chat a little bit in the voice chat. But I'm gonna stop the stream now. Stretch my legs because I can't feel them anymore, and put this Xserve back in the basement. And if you just want to see something really sexy, apart from me of course, look at that. How sexy is that? If it wasn't so loud, I'd be running them all the time. Beautiful machines. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. Hope to see you on Discord, and if not, then I'll talk to you in the next video. So, see you later. Oh, I already took my power supply back. Put it back in. Don't worry. See ya.